Good day, everybody. This is BA Radiant Dawn, and I'm back with another top 10 units from each game, not yet in FEH. The last one was Genealogy, but Gen 1. This time, we got Gen 2. Gen 2, full force, baby. Let's go. So just like before, just like the last one for Gen 1, I brought along Blakeblast along for the ride.
Hello there, my name is Blakeblast. Before my favorite game. Gen 2 is probably my favorite generation. Both.
Oh yeah, Gen 2 is so much fun, man. I love Gen 2. Gen 2 is just the combination of everything you did in Gen 1 in terms of like pairing up and everything. And I'm excited for these kid units because I used a lot of them and they just destroyed everything. I love it so much. So let's get into it. So put this over here. For the 10th spot, we have my girl, FEH. So, if you don't mind, I'm just going to start off with a little spiel about FEH, if you don't mind there, Blake?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
go for it.
So, I absolutely love FEH, in case you couldn't tell. Her and Sed were basically the best units of that generation for me. Like, they just killed everything. She didn't have access to the legendary weapons, but she also didn't really need them. Give her a slim sword with 50 kills, and she just murders literally everything. You could throw her in a group of enemies, and she dodges majority of them. She might take one hit, but she could take it, which is the main thing, and she will just murder everyone in her path. I do. If she gets demoted, I might actually quit FEH. Nah, I won't quit FEH, but I will be very, very, very upset if they demoted her because she's just that good. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts there, Blake?
Overall, FEH, yeah, I imagine you went for the canonical pairing of Luan and Arenas.
Yes.
For that FEH. Yeah, she's the insane juggernaut with critical and adept.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to be a unit focused on the speed, especially as a Pegasus Knight. As for her weapons, she started with swords, specifically the Berserk Edge. Ooh. I'm not sure how they would implement that into heroes. Maybe it's like a sword that debuffs the unit, defense-wise.
I'm just imagining in my head like you hit an enemy unit with the Berserk Edge, and like you hit like a legendary Edelgard, and the legendary Edelgard just goes around smashing up the enemies.
Yeah, that would be too overpowered. I don't think they're going to add a charm effect to FEH.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, I could definitely see it being like a debuff blade, which would be pretty sweet, honestly. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. If I imagine they're going to add her, it's probably going to be very similar to Arenas, but with just like the Berserk Edge.
Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking like...
But overall...
high speed, decent strength, decent HP, low defense, and pretty decent res.
Yeah, I'm imagining so. Her stats is going to be focused on all the speed.
Mm-hmm. All of the speed. Every little bit of speed. Based off of who her dad was, for my pairings anyway. Oh, she was a goddess, man. She could not get... like, enemies had like 5 hit on her. Even legendary... I threw her up against legendary weapons, and they had like 40 hit. Like, that's insane. Because legendary weapons pack a crap ton of hit, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have anything else to add on, FEH?
And before we go, know how you say Sword of Celeste or something like that?
Yes, that'd be so cool.
Brother.
Because, yeah, there's Winds of Celeste, and then there's little, what was, Celeste's Frost or something that Arenas had?
Yeah, it was Celeste Frost.
Yeah, so a Celeste sword would be pretty sweet. Just round off the trio.
Mm-hmm.
So next up in the 9th spot we have Lana. Demote.
Yeah, demote tier.
For sure. Unfortunately, she's hella cute, but I could see demote.
Yeah, I don't really see anything special with Lana. She's just overall a healer you get on Gen 2 starting off.
Yeah, she's a Gen 2 starting healer. She doesn't have anything special. She can't have anything special. Well, she could. Yeah, I think if you made her dad Claude, you can automatically get the staff, couldn't you?
Yeah, you can give her any staff, but she does not start with Valkyria. That gets into his brother Lester, which he cannot use.
Oh, well, dang, rip. Dang, lol.
Yeah. Dang lol. So overall, she seems like she's going to be a demo, just a okay healer with like updated skills and stuff.
For sure.
Special.
Unfortunately, like I like her, but I don't see anything special about her skill-wise or item-wise, weapon-wise, like nothing. It's just, it's sad but true.
Yeah.
Next up we got, I know him as Favale, Faye knows him as Febale. So this is Bridget's son, if I remember correctly.
Yes, this is Bridget's son. He starts off with the Jufel, usually.
We don't even have a base Bridget in Faye, do we? I don't think so, no.
No, we do not have her.
We have Pirate. Okay. So, like, Jufel, that was an insane bow, dude. Like, he could take on
40
anyone with that bow. And it gave him, like, 30 speed, didn't it?
It gave them plus 10 speed, but that speed isn't really actual speed up. It's just basically circumvents the bow's weight, which was like 13, so it's just a bow with 3 weight.
Okay.
But what made Jufel very special is that, how you say, it has plus 10 strength, so it's technically a 40 might weapon over 30 might.
Oh, and it also gave
renewal.
Yeah, renewal, which is pretty cool actually. So, would they actually just make it as like a self-sustaining bow in Faye? Probably. Give up,
yeah.
Like kind of like have a mystic boost kind of ability built in.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
And before it's just renewal, and Febale is just going to get trapped and surrounded by a bunch of units and not have a close counter.
Yeah, well, I'm giving him close counter, because close counter, Jufel, sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
So, are you thinking color or colorless bow for him? I'm thinking color.
Yeah, I'm thinking I was thinking colorless bow, but I think that'll be just too boring since they already have many colorless bow and they kind of want to have color bow. If they will give him a color, I guess they'll probably just go for blue, just because his shirt is blue. I don't really see it could be fitting of other colors.
I was actually thinking possibly red, because red is typically a speedy color, right? Like, a lot of the fastest units in the game are red color. So I'm thinking maybe that would work. But I'll have to...
Yeah.
It's a good question. But either way, I want him in the game. He was an absolute god as well. Like, he was so much fun to use. Jufel just deletes enemies. Like, there's no tomorrow.
Yeah. Such a strong weapon.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, next up, at the end of the last video, we covered the kid, and now the man with the mustache. Adult Oifi. Look at this beast.
Yeah.
So while Gen 1 didn't really have a Jagan, your Jagan was basically your lord, which is a really weird but cool concept. That's a first in Fire Emblem for sure.
Yeah.
Oifi with the mustache is the Jagan of Gen 2, and oh boy, did he have a glow up.
Yeah, he's pretty cool overall. Really good unit. Pretty solid overall.
He came with lances, didn't he?
Yeah, he did come with a Javelin, but I don't think they're just going to give us Javelin since Javelins don't exist in Faye.
Yeah, so he'd probably have like a specialty lance with like built-in DC or something.
Yeah, his second weapon was an armor slayer, but it's going to be another sword cavalier. So maybe a weapon that's effective against armors, possibly.
Okay.
As for skills, he has critical and pursuit, so I imagine like a skill that accelerates cooldown. Be nice for him.
Yeah, and then his weapon would probably give him guaranteed follow-up.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he had a lot for speed, did he?
He had okay speed. Like, he will double mostly every enemy, because all enemies had like heavy weapons overall. Gen 2.
Yeah, and like and everything but swords was super heavy, so like it's kind of hard not to be faster with a sword than any guy with an axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking he'd probably have like garbage speed, but like good defense, res, HP strength, and then his weapon would just guarantee him a follow-up to make up for the lackluster speed. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do with him.
Next up is Arion. So he had a legendary weapon, didn't he?
Yes, he had the Gungnir. And the Gungnir granted attack, speed, and defense. So overall, pretty solid stats.
So he'd probably get that as like a in combat buff, probably.
Yeah.
Like attack, speed, and defense +5 or something during combat.
Yeah, if Arion gets that, he's probably going to be just an updated Altena for all.
Which is fine because honestly, I'm still annoyed with the fact that Altena was apparently like in the 5-star pool and the 4-star pool at the same time for a very long time. That seems like a waste to me. Like I would be super annoyed if I got pity broken by like a 5-star Altena. I'd be like, what is this fodder? Like what is this? Him? Yeah. He should be a 5-star. Oh, over there. He should be a 5-star, and not only should he be a 5-star, he should also be really good. Like, I'm expecting this. He was, let's face facts, he is the greatest green unit of all of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, he's probably one of the strongest green units overall.
Yeah, because every other green unit's freaking trash, and then there's him with a legendary weapon saying, hey, guess what? You do nothing to me. Come at me, bro. Like, dang.
When you find him as an enemy in FE4, he has the Miracle Band, so you can give him Miracle.
Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be a nice little throwback.
As for some of his other skills, well, he can also have, like, flyer immunity so that he doesn't get affected from bows. Or other anti-flyer weapons.
Okay.
Because he had Nihil.
So...
And probably a skill that guarantees follow-up since he has Adept. Or a skill that, since the Gungnir granted speed, maybe a skill that benefits from the speed would also work for him.
Wyvern Flight.
Oh, yeah, Wyvern Flight.
Because he'd have decent speed. He'd have probably more speed than Altena. He'd have hella good defense. And that's what Wyvern Flight is based off of, his speed and defense. So I could see them giving him Wyvern Flight. Right now, Wyvern Flight's only on Milady, and she's from FE6, and that's it. So him with Wyvern Flight would actually make sense, because I think it would do really well, especially if his weapon's giving him attack, speed, defense. If he already has, let's say he has 31 or 36 speed at base, right? Level 40, no Dragonfires, no merges, no none of that. His weapon would probably bump that up to like 41, and 41's a really good threshold for speed-based skills, pretty much. Like, 41's right where you want to be at, speed-wise. Then you could just give him, like, attack speed solo, or, like, attack speed push, and just pump that up even higher. Ruse, maybe... oh, wait, no, Flyers can't get Ruse, but... I don't know, there'd be some kind of C-slot that could just pump up his speed even more. And that, like...
Yeah.
I would max out his speed defense. Wyvern Flight, let's go.
Overall, I think Arion's going to be an insane unit if he gets added in Fae. The only weakness is just really terrible res.
Oh yeah.
For him.
But let's face it, with Wyvern Flight, it reduces the enemy's attack based on the difference between his defense and the enemy. As long as his speed is, like, higher. I think, I can't fully remember how Wyvern Flight works, but I know it would work really well on him, so.
Yeah.
Next up is Sir Arvis. The King.
King Arvis.
King Arvis. So what do you think?
Yeah, for Arvis, he's going to obviously be a knight of Red Tome Knight. Mm-hmm. As for his tome, I imagine it's going to be an updated Valve Flame, since Valve Flame is kind of outdated now.
Oh yeah, even the... I remember Ling King 7 being so upset with the Refine that Valve Flame got that he, like, uninstalled Fae.
Oh yeah, that Refine was pretty garbage. It's just, like, reduces people's res.
Yeah, like, who cares about, like, he deserved better. He deserved better. And then Shamir got released and Link King reinstalled. I remember that was a whole shindig. That was the funniest thing. It was like a week later, Shamir gets announced and he's like, I guess I'm reinstalling now.
Like, if they're going to give him an updated Valve Flame, the Valve Flame should give him a ton of defense.
Oh yeah.
That's what also made King Arvis really, really tough boss.
So we're kind of looking at like, maybe kind of like a New Year Alphonse kind of setup with like good strength, great defense, and res. Kind of bad speed, but it doesn't matter because the weapon makes up for that.
Yeah, the speed he was one of those. He was pretty slow overall, even though he had like capped speed. But it's just because the Valve thing was really heavy at FE4. So I'm imagining like he has overall good stats everywhere, but the worst speed, but one of the worst speeds in the game. But the speed doesn't matter because he's probably going to tank everything.
Yeah.
Overall, I think they could probably make him a Grand Hero battle, but I think that'll be like too little for him. Maybe even make him a Mystic at that point.
I mean, the younger version of him is a freaking Grand Hero battle or whatever, right? So.
Yeah.
Double Grand Hero battle? That'd be dirty, man. That'd be dirty. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing Fire, Red Tone. Easy.
Yeah, Fire, Red Tone. Knight. And before we just give him a Silver Sword. Silver Blade.
Next up we have... Skathak? I'm gonna call him Ulster.
Yeah, Ulster.
Sorry, Faye. If I can't pronounce it, I'm just gonna call him Ulster. Deal with it. So he is not Ira, like I said earlier, but Larce's brother.
Yeah, Larce's brother.
Yeah, I said Ira.
Ira's
I noticed
son.
that. I'm like, no, that's wrong. Larce's brother. So he's another sword male. We all know how that works in Fae. Usually, if it's a mercenary, they get turned into an axe unit. But in Genealogy, that doesn't quite work because even as heroes, they don't get axes; they just keep swords, right?
Yeah, which is pretty weird. I kind of wish to get axes, but oh well.
Yeah, it's like the only game in Fire Emblem where heroes can't use axes. It's so...
Well, in the first games, FE1 and FE3, heroes only had swords too.
Oh, okay, so it just kind of carried off. So, what about, do you know much when it comes to Thracia? Did heroes exist and they have axes?
They were not known as heroes, they were just known as mercenaries, and yeah, they did have axes.
Okay, so it just carried on from Thracia, but everything pre-Thracia is all sword mercenary and the sword mercenary.
Yeah.
Okay, so, sword, infantry, probably, unless Faye wants to be dumb and do axes, but I can see swords being easier.
It feels very weird for him because I feel like they will try to make him a more physical unit with higher strength and defense, but at the same time, I don't think if they do that, then Ragnoastra is going to be weaker. So they're going to have to like supplement that by like lowering their speed. So it's pretty weird overall what they could do with him.
Well, what was the one that Shannon came with in Fae?
That was Royal Astra, and I think like Royal Astra is going to probably be just Shannon only.
Yeah, because
since,
that's also based on speed. But they're all from the same bloodline, so I think he could get. I think Ulster could get something like that, based off of maybe based off of attack or defense instead.
Like, yeah, he could probably get like Ragnoastra, but at the same time, he could probably have like skills that supplement his speed or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Either way, I'm interested to see what they do with him because he always seemed worse to me than his sister, but that's just because his sister's broken as all hell. Like. Yeah, the Swordmaster class just has higher caps and higher promotion stats and stuff. And also, she just has better growth too, for, like where it matters. Yeah. Ulster is just, how do you say, bulky. Larce usually is, how do you say, offense-oriented. Oh, I think I get to talk about her. Okay, so, I'm actually really excited to cover this one because I remember a little storyline. It's my girl, Patty! So, for those that don't know, when it came to my Genealogy Let's Play, I was really... So, when Patty first shows up, and you talk to her with Seliph, for the translation patch that I used, at least, she goes like, "Hi," and he's like, "Hi, who are you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm like Shannon's girlfriend," and Seliph's just like, "No, you're not. That's cute, kid. No, you're not. There's no way." And then I was thinking, who should I pair with Pat? Then I'm like, you know what? Screw you, Seliph. She's gonna marry Shannon, and then she did. And it was actually the best pairing I did in that game, in my opinion, just because of the fact that, like, I gave Shannon the Thief Sword, because as it is, he could kill everything. And then, for every enemy he just stole gold from, and then gave it to Patty. Patty could distribute that gold to anyone in the army. Like, that was a really, really good combo. I loved it. Because he couldn't lose in the arena. He couldn't lose in a one-on-one battle outside of the arena. So it's like, free money. Yeah.
That's overall probably say like pretty basic pairing overall, but the girls match up pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
As for what they will do in Faye, she probably get like the normal thief treatment where they turn thieves into dagger units.
Yeah.
So she's probably going to be a dagger unit. As for what kind of dagger to give her, well, she starts off with the sleep sword in FE4. So I imagine they will give her a sleep dagger, which will probably be a dagger that just grants gravity.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'd be really cool. I don't think we have one of those, do we? I don't think there is a dagger that grants gravity yet.
Yeah, not sure about that one.
There's a stats that does, but I think all daggers... No, there's no gravity dagger. That'd be pretty sweet. I would like that.
As for what color, well, the sleep sword was blue color, so I imagine it could be blue dagger too.
Yeah, and blue also matches her, like, ribbon, like her scarf on her neck and whatnot, so I can see that happening.
Yeah.
That is blue, right? Or is that purple?
No, it's blue.
Okay, good. Being colorblind sucks, man. It's like, hey, can you grab me the yellow thing? It's like, this thing?
Like, another thing they could probably add to Patty is also, lower, special cooldown for enemies, since, she has the Allure Blood, which granted luck. And units that have high luck usually get, skills that, slows enemy cooldown.
That's true.
Okay.
So, she could probably come with, like, well, actually, she might just come with, like, Pulse Smoke in the C slot. That would work really well, actually.
Yeah.
Pulse Smoke, Gravity Dagger, and then the usual defensive res -6 to enemies and all, within target within 2 spaces, or something, like the usual dagger stuff. That sounds like a really good idea, honestly. She sounds like she'd be utterly ridiculous. And like,
maybe
I didn't actually end up promoting Dew, but I did promote Patty. And oh my god, promoted Patty is a boss. She gets hit by nothing. I think there's enemy that, like, even bosses had like 0 hit. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, Patty is one of those units that's very easy to get 90 base avoid from, from cap speed and luck, which would be like 30-30, which grants 90 avoid.
For sure. Do you think she'd... Yeah, you said blue dagger, so that'd be I like that idea.
Yeah,
I'd like
blue dagger. And maybe to add a bit more onto her dagger, they could also make it so that it prevents follow-ups or counterattacks.
Something like that sounds good. Next up we have, in the second spot, Sir Arthur! So, I want to say blue tone because Thunder Magic's always blue.
I actually go against that. He wouldn't have a blue tome, he will actually have a green tome, and the reason for that is because Arthur starts with a wind tome.
Oh, yes! Yes. It's his sister that's, Thunder.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I can see him being a green tome, then yeah. I forgot.
Well, they could also give him a Thunder Tome if, like, they want to go with the Breach route or sort.
So, yeah, it could be green or blue, depending on what they give him. But either way, I actually don't remember what his stats were like, do you? I'm pretty sure.
He was, like, a bit speedy, since, his speed base was pretty good overall. And, well, because he's had the Wind Tome, which is the lightest tome.
Yeah.
And he has the Turtle Blood, I guess something that accelerates cooldown. And his skill is always Wrath, since he's the son of Teotihu, which Teotihu had Wrath. And before, I was thinking they could also just give him Winds of Celeste just for the memes, because he comes from Celeste in the story.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that actually. That's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be funny and terrible at the same time. I like that.
Like, they could also make him into a Mage Knight, into, like, a green
Mounted Mage
Cavalier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Green Tome Cavalier. Since that's what he promotes into.
It's been a long time since we got a Mage Cavalier that's not a seasonal.
Yeah.
I had to fix that because I'm like, we just got freaking is it Selena or Severa? Severa. Yeah, she
I think it was Severa.
Red Cavalry Tome, but that's a seasonal, so she doesn't count. It's been a while since we got a new mounted tome. There we go. I think the last one was like Selena Sacred Stones, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're overdue, and I would like to see him as a Cav, because that would just be really awesome. I like that. And for the number 1 spot, the most wanted unit from Gen 2 Genealogy that's not yet in Fae is Tinny.
Or Time.
Tiny.
That's her official name.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Hang on. I want to make this joke. Tiny.
Funny.
Okay, so she'd be definitely like a blue mage. Like, I don't think there's...
Yeah, blue mage for sure.
Yeah.
I would say, like, give her the Thoron, but she can't wield Thoron at base.
She
But
might
at the same
actually
time,
just be like, I could see them doing to her what they did to Ilyana and making her a demote, possibly. Although she doesn't deserve it. She deserves better than a demote, but... I could kind of see it.
Like, I could also see her as the Grand Hero Battle unit since she starts off as an enemy that you must recruit with Arthur.
Ooh, this is true. That's actually a really good point. Yeah.
As for what kind of skills she could have Wrath, since she's still the daughter of Tiltiu.
Yep.
So Wrath.
This is a very blessed image on the screen right now because we have both the siblings.
Yeah.
I like how those two are the top 2 spots too. That's awesome.
Yeah. As for other weapons she could also wield her mother's weapon in Fae, which was the Thunder of Freech, I believe, which had just built-in Wrath on it. But at the same time, Tiltu's pretty much an outdated unit at this point.
Yes, we need a better version.
They will probably go for something else.
What were her stats like? I recall her being like a magic nuke.
She was pretty much alright on every stat. I don't really recall her magic being high since she says, in relations to Tiltu's growth, when Tiltu has really poor magic growth, but she had pretty decent magic base.
Oh, okay. So she's kind of just perfectly well-rounded, like, she doesn't excel at anything, but she also doesn't suck at anything either.
Yeah, what makes her pretty good as a magic nuke is just due to the fact that she has Wrath, which just doubles attacks and doubles your total damage in FE4.
Oh yeah, and like 50 kill Thunder Tome with critical build. It's like you're doing a crit every attack, and you're just insta killing.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was thinking of when I said that she was like a magic nuke, but it's because like crit Thunder Tome plus Wrath is just overkill.
Yeah. Also, both of these units, Tinny, Tyne, and Arthur, both were started off as mages, so they could technically be any color if they really wanted to. But I feel like they will go for like green for Arthur since he started with a green tome, wind tome, and blue for Tinny since she started with thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that perfectly fine. Now, I would just be really happy because I feel like if we got both of them on a banner, one of them would be a demote.
Yeah. Or maybe they could just give us Arthur in the banner, probably just mentioning like all about her sister, like trying to look for her, and then her sister's just a Grand Hero Battle unit.
Ooh, that'd be good too. See, this is why I have you on for this. You got some really good genealogy. You know the backstory, you know the characters, you know the skills, you know the weapons, the items, the equipment, the growth rate. You're like the all-knowing genealogy god for me, in my opinion. So that's, I'm glad to have you on.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you have anything to add about either of these two, or?
No, I just love them both. They're my favorite child units.
Yeah. I just wish they could have gotten legendary tomes, because I feel like them with the legendary tomes would have been like broken.
Yeah.
But even though they didn't, they still did pretty good. So I'm not gonna complain. But yeah. Again, thanks for joining me on for this video portion there, Blake.
It's been a pleasure.
And again, guys, just like with the last video, I'm going to say in this one too, like, comment, subscribe, and also check out Blakeblast channel. It's going to be down in the description below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah, this is BA Radio Don signing off. See ya.
Peace.